The S&P 500 has dropped by 1.62% today, reaching a price of $7,267, a significant decline in the market. In today's macro overview, the S&P 500 is trading at $7,267, down 1.62% from its previous close, while the VIX has surged by 17.44% to 22.2, indicating a significant increase in market volatility. The yield curve is also experiencing fluctuations, which could be attributed to the upcoming FOMC meeting on June 17th. Higher interest rates could lead to a higher discount rate, resulting in lower equity valuations, especially for growth stocks. With the current market conditions, it is essential to keep a close eye on the S&P 500 and the VIX, as they can provide valuable insights into the overall market sentiment. The S&P 500 is still within its recent range of $7,000 to $7,500, and the Nasdaq is hovering around $25,000, indicating a relatively stable market despite the decline. Now, let's take a deep dive into the top gainer of the day, FRMI, which has seen an impressive price move of 22.6% to $6.89. This significant increase can be attributed to the strong buy signal from analysts, with 81.2% of them recommending a buy and none suggesting a sell. The upcoming FOMC meeting and the recent options market activity, with a put/call ratio of 0.07, also indicate bullish institutional positioning. However, it's essential to note that FRMI has not had a strong earnings track record, with 0 out of 3 quarters beating expectations, and the last quarter surprise was a significant minus 427.4%. Despite this, the stock is outperforming its peer group, and investors should keep a close eye on its future earnings reports and the overall market sentiment. The industry signals also suggest that FRMI is well-positioned for growth, and its peer comparison indicates that it is outperforming most of its competitors. As we move forward, it's crucial to watch the FOMC meeting and its impact on interest rates, as well as the overall market conditions, to determine the next steps for FRMI. Our second top gainer of the day is CASI, which has seen a price move of 20.3% to $915.60. This increase can be attributed to the company's strong earnings track record, with 4 out of 4 quarters beating expectations, and the last quarter surprise was a significant plus 30.0%. The analyst consensus is also bullish, with 65.4% of analysts recommending a buy and none suggesting a sell. The options market activity, with a put/call ratio of 0.61, also indicates bullish institutional positioning. CASI is also outperforming its peer group, and its revenue growth of 14.5% year-over-year is a significant indicator of its strength. The company's PE ratio of 45.9x is also relatively high, indicating that investors are willing to pay a premium for its growth potential. As we move forward, it's essential to watch the upcoming macro catalysts, including the FOMC meeting and the CPI inflation report, to determine the next steps for CASI. The industry signals also suggest that CASI is well-positioned for growth, and its peer comparison indicates that it is outperforming most of its competitors. Looking at cross-asset signals, Bitcoin has increased by 1.81% to $62,571, indicating a positive sentiment in the cryptocurrency market. Gold, on the other hand, has decreased by 0.8% to $4,100, which could be attributed to the strengthening of the US dollar. The overall macro picture suggests that investors are becoming more risk-averse, with the VIX increasing significantly and the S&P 500 declining. However, the bullish sentiment in the options market and the strong earnings track record of some stocks, such as CASI, indicate that there are still opportunities for growth in the market. The recent price movements of Bitcoin and gold also suggest that investors are looking for alternative assets to hedge against market volatility. As we move forward, it's essential to keep a close eye on these cross-asset signals to determine the overall market sentiment and make informed investment decisions. In terms of our action plan for the next 5 sessions, we recommend keeping a close eye on the S&P 500 and the VIX, as they can provide valuable insights into the overall market sentiment. We also suggest watching the upcoming macro catalysts, including the FOMC meeting and the CPI inflation report, to determine the next steps for the market. Additionally, we recommend keeping an eye on the top gainers, such as FRMI and CASI, to see if they can continue their momentum. It's also essential to monitor the cross-asset signals, including Bitcoin and gold, to determine the overall market sentiment. We suggest considering a long position in FRMI and CASI, given their strong bullish sentiment and growth potential. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that the market can be volatile, and it's essential to have a well-diversified portfolio to minimize risk. As we move forward, it's essential to stay up to date with the latest market news and analysis to make informed investment decisions. In conclusion, today's market decline and increase in volatility suggest that investors are becoming more cautious. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.